Doctors hold institutional authority. As a healthcare advocate, I've sat with women like Hannah who endured 10 years of being told that her fatigue was just stress, only to finally learn that she had lupus. I've watched brilliant, resilient women shrink into silence, accepting chronic pain as normal because the system wore them down. This is medical gaslighting and it steals lives. Endometriosis UK reports that 47% of women visit doctors 10 times or more before being taken seriously. We deserve better. 1 in 10 women have endometriosis, yet diagnosis takes between 7 and 8 years on average, according to Endometriosis UK. Why do we have stories like Sarah's, who was told that her debilitating pain was just due to anxiety, or Maria, a black woman, who was dismissed as overreacting? Medical gaslighting persists because the system itself is unequal. Doctors hold institutional authority, while patients, often vulnerable and in pain, struggle to be heard. Add historical bias and stereotypes. Let's take a closer look. Medical research historically excluded women, labeling pain as hysteria. In other words, medicine has a long historical bias centered on men's bodies, dismissing women's pain as emotional. Immigrants, black or other ethnic minority women, plus-size individuals, and young or older patients face compounded stereotypes and harmful assumptions. For example, they're thought of as being dramatic, non-compliant, or hormonal. Rushed appointments, outdated training, and a culture of paternalism can lead providers and clinicians to minimize symptoms, both intentionally and unintentionally. It can look like being told it's all in your head, or symptoms being dismissed. For example, they say, "You're too young for this." It can also look like feeling rushed, unheard, or shamed. Or they might even say, "You're too sensitive. It's just periods." How about dismissive test results? "Your labs are normal, so there's nothing wrong." All this leads to anxiety, self-doubt, and delayed care. It's followed by years enduring a condition that's not treated, lack of self-trust, absence of trust in the healthcare system, of course, and women who are resigned to suffering. So now let's look at 7 tactics to shatter gaslighting and be heard. First, bring a trusted friend, advocate, buddy to your clinic appointment or consultation. A friend or advocate disrupts those power imbalances. They can say, "Well, she's had 3 emergency room visits this month. Let's find out why." A trusted friend or family member can validate your experience, help you take notes, and hold clinicians or providers accountable. Second, take live notes during your appointment. So jot down key phrases during the conversation, diagnosis or thoughts that the doctor shares. But importantly, if you experience this, jot it down. "Dr. so and so dismissed my chest pain as anxiety." Your act of writing in real time pressurizes that clinician or provider to stay accountable. Physically taking those notes signals that you're serious. 3, keep a symptom diary at home. Track patterns of your symptoms over weeks, months, or days. For example, the pain peaks or is most intense 2 days after ovulation. Or you can use tools. There are apps like Fendo for endometriosis, which can convert subjective pain into data charts. Or you can use a journal or an app like Flow to track your menstrual pattern. Using objective data disrupts gaslighting. You can say, "Well, doctor, here's my pain scale over the last 3 months." Not only does this clearly demonstrate your lived experience, it also takes away the uncertainty of relying on your memory, which may not always be trustworthy to relay your symptoms. Next, demand a level playing field. Doctors often stand over you, type during your conversations, or even talk about your condition while you're still half dressed after an examination. These subtle cues can reinforce that power dynamic or hierarchy I talked about at the beginning. So try saying something like this. Can we chat once I'm dressed, doctor? I won't be too long. Because when you're sitting clothed and not in a hospital gown or half dressed and at eye level, it fosters mutual respect. Or you can say, doctor, I'd feel more comfortable if we're both seated. Do you mind? Because that eliminates the parent-child dynamic of a standing doctor. Or if they're busy typing away while trying to have a conversation, understandably to save time, you can say, doctor, I need to focus. Could we just chat a little bit before you make your notes? And I understand that it's to save time, but this is really important to me. This can redirect attention to your needs, not their notes. I've seen patients literally burst into tears when a doctor finally sits down and says, tell me everything. It's not magic, it's just basic humanity. 5, trust your gut and escalate things or seek a second opinion. I once heard somebody say, after 5 doctors ignored my dizziness, a cardiologist found I had a diagnosis of POTS. So if something feels off, it probably is. Somebody else said, after 3 dismissals from 3 different doctors, I saw a specialist who diagnosed my PCOS in just 1 visit. It's when you have an unsettled feeling that things are not just as they should be. Don't ignore it. You can pursue it by going over the consultation in your mind. What did you really achieve from that conversation? Anything tangible? Promises that you can't really put a finger on? Any progress? Or you can even have a conversation with a loved one or trusted friend to see if really you achieved your goal of going for that consultation. Because if you didn't and you're still worried, a second opinion makes sense. 6, record visits legally. This may be slightly tricky, but it may be necessary in some situations. In the UK, you can record consultations without permission. But saying to your doctor, I'd like to record our conversation today if you don't mind, to help me remember, keeps trust. However, in the USA, rules vary by state. For instance, California needs both parties to consent, while Texas needs only your consent for a consultation to be recorded. So check your state law first. Having a legal recording with consent lets you replay dismissive comments, if there are any, to a new provider. I heard somebody recorded her emergency department visit where a doctor rolled his eyes at her complaint of chest pain. After the next doctor saw the clip, they ordered tests and found a heart condition. 7, join a community. Communities are valuable for reasons such as preventing isolation and sharing experiences. Forums like Endo on Reddit, Verity PCOS UK, Endometriosis Forum, soulsisters.com, or Patient Better will show you that you're not alone. On these forums, women share experiences. You may come across comments like, my doctor said this, what do you think? Or, how did you respond when your doctor said that? These can help drive conversations and grow empowerment. The fact is, collective knowledge disarms gaslighters. Here's my plea to you. I've seen too many women, like Claire, for example, just 24. She now uses a wheelchair because her joint pain was dismissed and referred to as anxiety for several years. And the worst part was she started to believe it. She just stopped asking for help because she thought, this is my life now. This is why I'm relentless about this issue with everyone I encounter. Gaslighting doesn't just delay diagnosis. It teaches us to abandon ourselves. So let's take a quick look at the 7 things you can do when doctors gaslight you and how to get yourself heard. Bring a body to the consultation. Take live notes during the visit. Keep a symptom diary at home. Flip the script in the consultation. Get them to sit down, stop typing and look at you and talk. Trust your gut. Get a second opinion if you feel that you need to. Use technology. Record consultations if you need to in a legal manner. Join a community. Your pain is data. Your voice is a tool. You are the CEO of your health. Walk into that consulting room armed with proof, people supporting you, and this unshakable truth: you deserve to thrive and not just survive. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.